Iowa Secretary of Agriculture Mike Naig is a 2024 Honorary Master Pork Producer. Secretary Naig learned the value of agriculture at a young age.
I grew up on a farrow to finish hog farm, 300 sows, farrow to finish. And that, as anybody that knows what that was like, occupied a lot of our time.
Becoming Deputy Secretary of Agriculture wasn't the career Mike was pursuing, but after receiving a call from a notable industry advocate, it was an opportunity he couldn't ignore.
Got a call one day from a guy named Bill Northey, and he had a job for me to do, come be the Deputy Secretary. I tried to convince him that he should ask somebody way more qualified, and Bill just kind of smiled, as everybody knew that smile, and said, I think you need to do this.
Following Bill Northey's appointment to the USDA, Naig seized the opportunity to run for Iowa Secretary of Agriculture, and he has held that office since 2018.
I tell you what, I have the best job in the state of Iowa, and I'll argue with anybody on that. I get a chance to see our agriculture firsthand, meet so many folks, so many creative people, so many hardworking folks, and that inspires me, and I truly wouldn't trade with any of my colleagues across the country. We have something very special here. And I feel very fortunate that I get a chance to be just a little part of that here at the department.
Secretary Naig and the Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship continue to advocate for the success of livestock production and the impact it makes in the state of Iowa.
Livestock production to me is about driving our economy at the big level, at the state level, but also in communities. You think of strong communities and counties with some incredible towns in them across the state. What's around those things? A lot of times it's livestock production that is core to that. Billions of dollars of economic impact, but maybe more importantly, it gives a livelihood to so many of our farm families and drives the economies of smaller communities across the state. That's critically important.
The Department of Ag has put a strong emphasis on foreign animal disease preparedness, and that effort is driven by Secretary Naig's leadership.
It's a focus that I wanted to bring as Secretary. I think we've really elevated that work. And I want to thank the pork industry. Iowa Pork Producers Association and members have been incredibly supportive. I think we've shown a good model of how public-private partnership works, and I'm proud of that.
When it comes to legislation, Secretary Naig holds the best interest of both the consumer and producer, while recognizing the impact these regulations can have.
Proposition 12 hits both ends of that equation, and we got to be clear about that. It drives up the cost of production for our producers, making it more difficult for their lives and frankly putting their businesses at risk. But at the other end of that equation, there are consumers that are paying more and have less access to the food that they need. And that should be concerning to every single one of us. So whether it's Prop 12 or whatever inevitably comes next as it spreads across this country, we should be fighting as hard as we can on that front.
Secretary Naig envisions a bright future for agriculture in Iowa. He believes that by working together, we will remain leaders in our industry.
The future is bright, but the work is important. I want to make sure that I've done something to try to make that more possible, that people can be productive and profitable, and that we can continue to be the leader that we are. It is us collectively doing what we've done now for generations, and we'll continue to do.